Welcome to Noir Alley. I'm Eddie Muller, and I am thrilled to be here with Dana Delany, who is my co-host this evening. And I hope you were watching earlier when, as guest programmer, she picked two terrific movies, Once a Thief and Man on a Tightrope. Man on a Tightrope especially because it starred our mutual favorite, Gloria Graham. So how could I not have you on Noir Alley to introduce Human Desire with Gloria Graham and Glenn Ford? Now, Dana, you didn't pick this one.
No,
This is just fortuitous. I had already chosen this for Noir Alley.
Right.
But it's a Gloria movie, so here you are to talk about your fave, Gloria Graham. What's your opinion of this one?
I love Gloria Graham, you know that. I feel like they're asking her to do a lot in this movie.
Yes, a lot that you think might actually be against her better judgment.
Yeah. I mean, as you know, the movie got watered down a lot from the original, well, the Renoir version.
Yes.
Right, La Bête Humaine.
Based on a Emile Zola novel.
La Bête Humaine.
Yes.
It's so different than this movie. And the lead in that, Jean Gabin, is a congenital psychopath, which would be Broderick Crawford in this. But in this movie, somehow Gloria gets the brunt of everything.
Yeah, it's strange, you know, and obviously Fritz Lang, the director, we'll get into Fritz Lang, kind of notorious in his dealings with actors, especially actresses. But Glenn Ford and Gloria Graham had been great together in The Big Heat, also directed by Fritz Lang. And, you know, Gloria was not his choice to star in this film, even though they had had this success. Both films made at Columbia. I'm trying to recall who the other actresses were.
It was Barbara Stanwyck, Rita Hayworth, and of all people, Olivia de Havilland.
Yeah, Olivia de Havilland. That was the wild card. Like, where does he see that? I'm not exactly sure. And yeah, they changed things around in this screenplay from the original, from both the novel and the Gabin version, because Glenn Ford plays a returning Korean War veteran. Right. And there was no way when this movie was made that they were going to have him be as bad as this character is in the original story. Right. So they kind of changed the dynamics of the whole thing. And obviously Broderick Crawford was hot as a pistol at this time too. And, and you know, playing this really disgusting character. So what is your take on all this? Because I don't want to give away too much plot in the film.
You know, there's a line in the movie, all women are unhappy, they just pretend they aren't.
Yeah.
And I just feel like that's the movie, you know? None of the women do well in this movie. It's a man's world. Men are running everything. She offers to get a job. He says, no wife of mine is going to work. You know, it's the 1950s. And it puts her in a precarious position, the whole movie, where she's ending up the bad guy, and she's not doing anything wrong. She's doing everything they ask her to do.
Well, they kind of, yes, it feels like that, like it's just blame it all on the woman, which amazingly, I saw production notes from this film, and when they were changing the script around to make it work for an American audience at this time, they didn't really know how to end the movie. Yeah. And the producers said, just blame it on the woman.
They actually said that.
They actually said that in the production notes. Like that's, you know, they didn't call them film noir back then. Yeah. But clearly, like, that was the thing. In these kinds of movies where the woman is sexual.
Yeah, God forbid.
Blame it on her.
Yeah.
You know, she's the cause of it all. She'll be the one that gets punished, you know?
Yeah.
And it's odd. I mean, it makes the film kind of a queasy experience watching it today.
It makes it feel dishonest because you actually you can see Gloria in the scene thinking, okay, I have to make this twist and turn now. And as an actor, you're like, should I look like a bad liar or a good liar? And you're not quite sure. You can see she can't quite decide. Should I lie well or should I just be a good actor? And you can see her kind of lying badly in it because probably Fritz Lang told her, don't be so convincing in doing it, you know?
Yes. And she's clearly the smartest character in the movie. Yeah. You know, the guys come off not too well in this film. I mean, Glenn Ford is like an okay guy until he's not really an okay guy in this movie.
But let's feel sorry for him because he's a drunk. You know, everybody gets a pass except for her.
Well, that's Broderick Crawford, who is clearly...
Broderick, yes. But also Glenn Ford is kind of weak, like...
Very, very much so. Yeah. Very much so. And he's very confused. But we'll obviously have a lot more to say about this film at the end,
Yes.
because we don't want to spoil the plot for those who have not seen it. And Gloria, always fantastic.
Always.
Always
She rises
worth
above.
watching. Yes, she does. So here it is. Broderick Crawford, Glenn Ford, and Gloria Graham, because we're going to give her first billing despite everything, in Fritz Lang's Human Desire. Okay, we hope you enjoyed Human Desire. I am back with Dana Delany to talk about it. So talk about it, Dana.
Okay, my favorite scene, another Gloria Graham choice moment, is when Glenn Ford comes and says, "I didn't kill him." And to me, it's her most honest moment because she goes, "What? Why not?" You know, it's so like, what? Finally, she could let it all go and say, "What?" And then she moves into the room and says, "You know, I couldn't do it." So she moves into the room. She says, "You couldn't do it. You couldn't kill him." And she walks behind this lamp and she puts her hands on top of the lamp, which is so strange. Because
It is weird,
who
yeah.
puts their hands on top of a hot lamp?
Someone with cold hands, I guess, but
And she says, "I guess it's only people like Carl that can kill for something, you know, they care about,
for something they love.
they love, right?" But I can only imagine that there was light coming up. He wanted her to cross here. And it's like, I'm not going to have that uplighting on my face. And so she just put her hands on the lamp and did
Yeah.
the scene like that. I think she was like, "You're not going to shoot me like that with that light coming up my face."
You know, Gloria was pretty headstrong, you know, which got her labeled as difficult by a lot of directors. I know that Fritz Lang, there are stills that you can see of Fritz Lang directing the beating scene where he's showing Broderick Crawford how to do it.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be at all surprised if maybe that scene was shot after the one we were just talking about.
Yeah.
And he got in a few licks.
Yeah.
Just on, you know, for the hell of it.
Yeah. But that last scene with Broderick and Gloria, where we can say he kills her, right?
Yeah.
I find that scene fascinating because I think that she is honestly who she is in that scene. You know, she's like, she's done with him. You know, "I'm done with you. I'm sick of you all." And when he starts to get on her and she says, you know, about Mr. Owens, you know, she says, "You know, yes, and I would have done the same thing if I was a man." You know, the fact that he slept with her when she was 16. And I thought that was really interesting. I feel like there was some truth to that. Men can get away with that. You know, it's all about men have all the power. And if I could have gotten away with it, I would have done the same thing.
Yeah.
And I just feel like, yeah, that's really true for her character. You know, she had no agency whatsoever, no power.
And wasn't it interesting in the first scene where everything is set up, when Carl comes home and he's been fired, and he starts kind of naively saying, you know, you can get me my job back. You can get it back.
And he's so whiny.
He's so whiny. He's such a child in this scene, and she understands exactly what's being asked.
She knows what the consequences will be.
Of course, but I find it unusual that the film, they were very careful to not suggest that Carl knew that he was sending her there to have sex with his boss. Right? Like, oh no, that's not what's happening. And like Gloria plays it like that's exactly what's happening. And that's what this is about. Right? But she seems to be the only person, not only in the film, but in the entire production of the film, that seemed to realize that's what this is about.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's fascinating.
And I think as an acting choice, it was so brilliant of her to really lay that on in that opening scene, that something had happened in the past, that she was a victim in some way, so that anything she does from there on is justified, because she was victimized, you know, so anything she does, she can justify, you know, because she's the victim.
Well, I'm going to do some shameless pitching now, because this is the Noir Alley magazine, which everyone who belongs to the Film Noir Foundation, who donates to the Film Noir Foundation, gets a copy of this magazine in digital form, but now it's available in print form. And I am showing this because our next issue has a cover story on Gloria Graham, written by this woman, Dana Delany, and it is fantastic. It's one of the, I am so proud. Have you seen it? Or I kind of surprised you with it.
Love this cover.
Yes.
So, isn't that beautiful?
And
beautiful.
Dana, you provide such insight into Gloria's career and looking at it, well, we call it actor to actor, and just an understanding and an insight into these movies that I think is really special. And I think TCM viewers would love it because it's a really a look inside the brain of an actor, one actor to another. Like, I'll bet Gloria was doing this. I bet she was thinking that. And I can't look at these scenes in her movies the same way now, thanks to this
hope that's a
article.
good thing.
No, it's better. It's better. I mean, it's such an enhancement. It's like, this is really good.
Well, I want to thank you for letting me do this because this was my pandemic project. Besides watching, when I finished this, I started watching the Alain Delon movies. And I got to see movies of Gloria's that I'd never seen before. And that was, I mean, I have now seen 45 things that she was in,
Wow.
including television shows. And I love her in every single thing I saw.
Wow, that's
Everything.
well, it comes through in the story. It's really remarkable. Well, Dana, I am so sorry that this night is over,
Me too.
but we have a surprise. You're not getting away. Because Dana will be back with us in 2 weeks when we will show another Gloria Graham movie, The Glass Wall. Now, next week, we're showing an obscure film from 1957 called Hellbound. I bet you didn't see that during the
No, I did
pandemic.
not see all that, but I look forward to it.
Okay, you'll be seeing it next week on
Right.
Noir Alley. And then 2 weeks from now, Dana will be back with us for more Gloria Graham and The Glass Wall. See you in the shadows.